Transformers, Rise of the Beast. And it is kind of safe to say, like, when you're about to walk into a Transformers film, there's a little bit of sexism going on. There's a level of, like, okay, what am I going to walk into? Because we all had hope with other Transformers films, and unless your name was Bumblebee, they all kind of tank. They all kind of stink. They all kind of are not good. I mean, but when you go and realize that, okay, it's not directed by Michael Bay, it's directed by the guy who did Creed 2, it's going to at least be good. It's going to be a hell of a lot better than the Michael Bay films. You're not going to get the racist robots. You're not going to get annoying characters from the robots or from the human characters. You're not going to get, cameras sew up the female leads' asses that you're wondering what type. Are you watching a type parody of a different type of film? Are we going? You're not going to see robots testicles. You're not going to see big explosions of like these. The Transformers looking so similar that you can't tell them apart unless your name is Bumblebee or Optimus Prime. There's no this, there's no that, there's no bad humor, there's no like humping dogs, there's none of that shit. There's none of that in this movie. You realize while walking in, but still you're like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me three more times, shame on you. You know what I mean? And Bumblebee, you're the exception. You're the fluke. So I'm still a little bit, okay, let's see what we're walking into. And the movie starts, and I'm watching the film. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is not bad. This is not a bad movie. But while watching it, I'm like, is there anything left to do with the Transformers in live action outside the last very, 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 very last shot of this film? Not including post-credit scenes, but like before the credits start. Is there anything else for them to do solo? Like, because while watching this film, I'm like, it's a better version. You have better characters. You have better characters, a better plot, an easy plot to follow. But the problem is it follows the same formula or the same beats of the other Transformers, of the Michael Bay Transformers films. So the point, it just feels a little bit too beat and done that. Like, Bumblebee felt the exception because it was literally the Iron Giant. It was about, a young lady and her dog. It's just her dog is a robot that transforms into a car. That's what Bumblebee was. So it felt like a fresh air. But like a straightforward Transformers film, I was like, is there anything different really in this film outside like, oh, now there's Transformers that can transform into animals? I get Beast Wars was a big thing for a lot of people, but I'm watching this and I just can't help but be like, I feel like I have seen this already. Is there anything Transformers related? Not like, let's make Optimus Prime spin-off and let's do a standalone let's do Bumblebee 2. None of that, but like a Transformers film in general. Is there anything left? Because this film is about that there's this device that is the MacGuffin, and they're going to the other side of the globe to hunt down this MacGuffin that is going to hopefully bring Optimus Prime back to Cybertron, but it's going to also bring back Unicron, who's our big bad, who's going to open this big invasion, who's basically Galactus, and I'm like, isn't that the plot of like Transformers 2? Is that the plot for like Last Night? It feels like I'm watching it all, and it feels like it. And I think that's what it is. This film is sitting on like, I think, like 50-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. So half of the critics like it, right? And I'm like, I can see it because of that. It's good. The performances are good. I like the characters. The plot is more simple. All the things that appear in the Michael Bay Transformers films ain't in there, and we love that. I love that it's not there. Yeah, even though Transformers 5, I don't like last night was the least Michael Bay. Yes, it felt like he was like pulling back a little bit, but still, this. I'm just watching it, and that's what I felt. And with the big climax action sequence where you have, a Transformer, nanotech suit of a human, like, okay, that's neat, that's cool, that's something we haven't seen before. That's something you can, how can you have a human to fight, fight alongside with the, Autobots. And, yeah, I'm like, okay, that's different, in action-wise. But story, I just felt like, I'm like, it's good, I'm liking it, but I'm just not loving it because it's been there. I feel like we're kind of going through these motions. It's like Terminator. How many times can you go back in time and show John Connor? Like, it's like, how many times are the Decepticons going wild on Earth and the Autobots are just going trying to stop them, or whoever the villains are, and it's going to save the planet, all that. It's just like, there's not much shifting gears in the franchise, and I think before they did another Transformers film, I feel like we needed that gear shift. I think we needed that gear shift to more of it to kind of feel fresh and new, and maybe they should have just do Bumblebee 2 and make it the Optimus Prime Bumblebee team up film. It's two of them fighting, and it's about the two of them, working together, and their friendships are bonding together. That type of thing. Maybe that's what should have happened. But that's. I mean, here's the thing. There is this animated film coming out next year, simply called Transformers 1, with Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. Scarlett Johansson's also in it, and is voicing a character. Hold on a second. You have John Hamm and Lawrence Fishburne and Michael Keaton as Bumblebee, and Brian T. Henry as Megatron. You got this, and it's a prequel. It's an animated film set on Cybertron. That is different. Focusing on how did the Autobots and the Decepticons, start their fuel. There's the beginning of the war, you may say. That, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That is something I'm intrigued, because that's new, that's something different, that's something we haven't seen on screen and story-wise. But this is the sixth time? This is the sixth Transformers film? I'm at that point. I'm like, maybe you need to do that ending scene to just make it feel fresh and new and different. The ending scene, all I will say is they're planning to do a crossover. I can tell you what crossover with the Transformers, and I always say, because it ain't the Fast and Furious, because we will believe if that was the case, we will be like, well, they did well. But yeah, I like it. Here's the thing: if you don't mind seeing just a good version of the stories that you have seen before with these characters, yeah, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to actually like it. But I think but if you're just like been and done that, you might not enjoy it. That's the thing. It's like, check it out, see how we go. If you think the franchise has been refreshed enough and you're willing to give the Transformers another go ahead and all that. So, yeah. Here's the thing. Coming up is going to be a mad week. So Transformers. A couple of days later, in a couple of days, we're going to see Flash, and then a couple of days later, we're going to see Elemental, and then Distraction 2 comes out on Netflix. So get ready to get a lot of movie content. Get ready for a lot of it.